Hi everyone, it's Amanda and I am here with my second process video using my Two Girls in a kit that I pulled together. Just going through and showing you some of the supplies that I'm using. You can see my kit video where I actually pulled all of my supplies together. I'll link it down below and you can get just kind of a greater, a better picture of what some of the papers are that I've used. And um, it'll be a little bit slower so that you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I have a 4x4 photo of myself reading. I just set my iPhone up on the dining room or on the kitchen table and use my timer cam app that I love and cherish dearly. And this was like the first week of summer break and my kids were sleeping and just totally taking time out for me. And I decided that I wanted to do something a little different than I normally do, and I wanted to do a circular based layout where I have my square photo and then everything else is circular. And the inspiration for this was actually a piece of paper where I had cut out some of Eleanor's birthday invitations using my silhouette, and it had just left a bunch of open circles all over the page. And I really liked that, and I thought about doing kind of a layout, where I put photos behind the circles, but the circles were pretty large, and so I ended up not doing that. But I have a couple different sizes. I don't know what they are right off the top of my head, but one of them is from Hobby Lobby, the blue one, and then the other is from Stampin' Up, and I think the Stampin' Up one is a 2-inch, possibly. But anyway, so I'm just going through and I'm trying to layer these out to see what I think. Originally, my plan was to do clusters of circular embellishments. So whenever I was going through and pulling embellishments from the kit, I was looking for buttons and brads and flare and round stickers and just different things where I could cluster it. But then it was really late and I was actually Skyping with Carrie at this point, and my brain was fried. And um, I'm glad that I didn't do what I originally thought, because I really enjoy the simplicity of this. It kind of echoes the um, like the message behind the story behind the photo, in that just a simple morning with coffee and a book that I never get to read. I never get to read, and so that was part of my bucket list for the summer, was to just find time to read a real book that's not lesson planning or a textbook or anything like that, but a real fiction juicy book. And so I feel like by keeping the layout simple, it just kind of magnified that, that the story behind the photo a little bit more. So I'm just using my ATG to put all this down, and I was having adhesive problems. Everything that I was using, it just wasn't working. My ATG was gumming up. I had a tape roller that just wasn't working, and so that's what I was doing there. So this is a point where I start going through all the different types of embellishments that I have, and just looking for round objects. And what I do is I've actually just used the packaging from that the 77 giant rhinestones, and I'm just pulling things that I think I might want, and I'm just sticking them on there. And this allows me to just kind of move them around, see if I like where they are, because of the clear background behind it. To be honest, I think I only use one of these on this particular layout. I'm about 4 videos behind. I mean, I already have 4 more videos filmed and ready to go, just waiting on the voiceover. So you will see some of this stuff. You'll begin seeing them throughout different layouts, because I'm really making a lot of headway into this kit. I've got not I don't have a whole lot left, which is exciting for me. Because if you'll remember from I don't even know what video it was, but I talked about how I wasn't buying anything new. Now, I say that, and Shamel Lane just released pictures of her new line with American Crafts, and I can't even go there in my head. I want it all. I want it all, but I'm not going to do it. I will refrain, because I'm trying to be a good girl. I did just place an order with Simon Says Stamps for some things, but It's for my upcoming e-course, which I will have more information on very soon. But so most of this stuff has come from my stash. Glitz Design did donate a lot of items from both the 77 collection and the Carpe Diem, so that stuff I'm very gracious to use. It was perfect colors for everything that I wanted to scrap, but a lot of the other elements have come from my stash. So knowing that I've pulled together a kit from my stash and I'm using it, that's just so exciting to me. The little pennant shape was also, the little banner thing, was from Eleanor's birthday invitations that I made, and I had some leftover banners, so I thought it was kind of a nice transition there. Now at this point I'm going through all my smaller embellishments that I pulled together for the kit. I've got all these um, wood veneers, some buttons, and I'm just trying to place them around to see if I like where any of it goes. And again, it just, the more that I laid down, the more just simplicity kept coming back to me, like keep it simple, keep it simple. I think that if I was to do it again and maybe I wasn't as tired, or maybe it was a different um, part of the day or whatever, I may have been able to make all the different clusters of embellishments work. But as it was, I just couldn't figure it out, and I'm okay with that. You know, it's a learning process, and I'm proud of myself for just bursting out of my, you know, rectangle straight line box that I live in sometimes, and going outside the box and thinking in a circular way of thinking for a little while. So the Today sticker comes, I was with a, it's in a Dear Lizzie chipboard thing, and I can't remember exactly the line that it was from, but I stuck that there, and then at this point I'm talking to Carrie about how I have no idea what I want the title to be, because I knew that I wanted to use the Today chipboard element, but I didn't know if I wanted it to be like taking time for me today, and then the alphabets that I pulled for the kit, it just didn't work, the different types of things that I had used, and the title would have been way too long, and it would have been the main focus of the layout, and that's not what I wanted. And then she was trying to help me come up with quotes or movie titles, book titles, song titles, and in the end I kept it very, very simple, and there was a giant rhinestone that just said dream big, and I stuck it right on top of there, and you'll see here in a little bit, and it just says dream big today. And um, the more I thought about it and the more that I looked at it, that was, you know, it was okay to me. It made sense and it fit the story. I didn't have to make it fit. The more that I reflected on it, that was exactly what I was doing. I was dreaming big. I was reading and imagining and using my brain, um, and it was just a fun day. Fun start to the day, I guess I should say. So, at this point, I'm not entirely sure what, I'm probably staring at the, yeah, okay. I'm staring at the page trying to figure out what to do, and I was talking to Carrie about it, and she said, you know, you could always add some ink splatter, which, you know, is genius, and I don't know why I didn't think of it myself, since I like to do that on everything. So I just took a few of the embellishments that I had stuck on there and just splattered some of it around. And then I grab my heat tool and I dry it just a little bit, because I don't want it to smear as I'm doing some, or maybe I don't. Nope, I don't. Thinking of another layout where I do that. um, Landon and I just got back. We're installing a patio soon, this weekend. Hopefully we're starting it, and we were out running some errands, and the girls were getting sleepy, and we've had a horrendous time with bedtimes lately, and we could see that the girls were getting sleepy, so we just kept driving and driving and driving. And any of you guys who have small children will know exactly what I'm talking about, or, you know, have had small children. So we got home and I put Adeline straight to bed, and of course Eleanor's fighting it a little bit, so he knew I needed to get some voiceovers completed, so he's in there going on about 25 minutes now, maybe longer, just trying to get her calmed down and trying to get her to go to sleep. So playing with embellishments again. I think I leave that there just to kind of anchor the other side of that banner. And then still thinking about that title, and I start putting down these letter stickers. And I start laying them down, and I think I was going to say me time today or something like that. I was going to shorten down that really long one that I thought about before. And I think I probably get one or two letters down, and I just realized this is not heading in the direction that I want. And so I peel them right back up. Um, and I think, as scrapbookers, that it's important for us to try things and to not be afraid to make mistakes, because I look back through some of my albums, and I was looking at my very first Project Life album from 2010, maybe 2011, the other day, and it's so plain, which is a wonderful thing because it's the only one that I have completely done. But it was right when Becky Higgins' Project Life was only a couple years old. She only had one kit that you could choose from. It was like the red binder. Um, some of you guys may know what I'm talking about. It wasn't this large choice, this just crazy business that she has now, which is amazing. It was just one kit, and you could order it and had everything with it. And most of there were no embellishments. It was photos and journaling. And then towards the end of the year, I started adding in some inserts and stuff. And I think I actually have videos on my channel you can go back and look through. But my scrapbooking has evolved so much. And we were talking while I was making this layout, and just about like in high school, my senior album was very much early 2000s, late 90s scrapbooking with photos with a solid mat behind it and some very thematic stickers and a title, and that was it. And it's just changed so much, and I wouldn't trade any of it. I wonder what it's going to look like by the time I'm teaching my girls how to scrapbook. It's kind of exciting to think about, but anyway, so there you go. I stick the dream big giant rhinestone right there, and I call it done. At this point, let's just get her done. So I think I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup. I have those. I wish I could see the top of them because I never have them here with me whenever I'm doing these, and I can't. They came. You've seen them in the previous video. I know. Um, they were in a previous Studio Calico Project Life monthly kit, and they were round, so I grabbed them, and I don't believe that I end up using any of them. In fact, my page is almost done. I don't do very much else at all. I will add my journaling, and oh yeah, I do add that, and I can't remember what it says, something about being the master of your fate and the captain of the something, but it was very literary to me, if that makes any sense at all. It was very wise sounding, and it had some black in it, which I was needing to just tie in a little bit more um, blacks and dark grays, because that one flare has it. Well, both the flares actually have it. The Seas a Day is in black, and then of course I used black ink. I used some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals to put behind a couple of the circles just to kind of make them pop off the page a little bit. Um, and then, I'm almost done. I don't think I add that. I can't remember, to be honest. Just trying to think ahead. And I've already filed the layout away, so I can't reference it. I don't remember. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so I'm nearing the end of the layout, and it just didn't seem. Okay, I do that. I remember now. I tie a little bow around it and stick it on there. Something didn't seem complete. There was so much craft, and then, very muted, kind of muted colors. And so at the end, I think you'll see me like pick it up, and I show it to Carrie, and she's like, why don't you put, the style now is to add strips of paper at the top and the bottom of the layout. And I was like, that's a genius idea. So I had a piece of gray gray patterned paper that I hadn't used, but I knew that I wanted to use it. So I do the trick cutting out the middle, and so that you can save it for later. and then I just kind of left just a tiny bit, like maybe 1/4 of an inch, and I just stick it behind it. And that's a little bit ahead. I add some enamel dots because, I mean, come on, you guys know me by now. I can't not do a layout and not have enamel dots. They're like my favorite thing. Which brings me to another point. I'd like to hear what you guys think about if any of you have made your own using the perler beads or whatever they're called. Has it been successful? I've watched some videos on it, and before I spend the money on the beads to ruin them, which is probably what would happen to me, I just kind of like to know if it was easy enough, or um, should I try, should I not try? Because buying them's a little expensive, but then I like that they're already, it's kind of got the adhesive backing on it. I don't have to worry about using glue dots or anything. So yeah, I don't know, just an idea. Sorry about my head being in the way there. I am in the process of saving up money. I'm about halfway there to get a tripod extender, so that'll be so nice because it's so hard for me to not get my head in the way or to knock the camera sometimes, and so that'll be nice. I'm excited about that. So yeah, this is where I was showing her and finding the piece of patterned paper, and you'll see me take out the middle of it. It's just an easy trick if you don't want to waste an entire piece of patterned paper that you really like. Just cut out the middle of it. There's no really right way to do it. I was only worried about the top and the bottom because the sides it was going to be 12 inches. So I just, lined it up and cut out a square. I think at this point I realized that my blade was getting really dull on my cutter because you can see how the edges of the paper are kind of ratty. Okay, so then I just trim that down, and I'll take my ATG and run it along the sides. And I didn't realize that I wasn't even in the frame. I was too zoomed in. But you'll see it here in just a second. And then I do my little trick where I fold up the paper. It's not my trick, lots of people do it, but it's a trick that I revert to quite often. And there you go. Very simple, very quick, and I love how it turned out. Thanks for watching, guys, and I love hearing your comments. I'm so thankful for the support that you've given me and just the sweet words. Try to respond to everything, and I'm getting there, but lots more videos to come, guys. Have a great, great 4th of July. Bye.